The ancient city of Giza is home to one of the most famous and well-known ancient Egyptian pharaohs, King Khufu. Pharaoh Khufu reigned for around 64 years, from 2551 to 2528 BC, and is one of the most famous ancient Egyptian pharaohs. He is particularly well known for his well-preserved pyramid, the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is still standing today. His accomplishments as an ancient Egyptian pharaoh include building some of the most famous ancient Egyptian pyramids, such as the Pyramid of Khufu and the Pyramid of Khafre. In this post, we will be discussing the fascinating history of King Khufu and his legacy. We will also provide some interesting facts about this famous ancient Egyptian pharaoh. The pharaohs of ancient Egypt ruled for centuries with absolute power. They were the richest and most powerful people in the world, and their tombs are some of the most impressive and well-preserved in the world. The pharaohs ruled with an iron fist, and anyone who opposed them was quickly silenced. Their tombs are a testament to their power and their vast wealth. Khufu was the first pharaoh of ancient Egypt, and he ruled from 2613 to 2589 BC. He is considered to be one of the most successful pharaohs, and his tomb is the most complete and well-preserved of all the pharaohs' tombs. Khufu was a great builder, and he is credited with the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. He also built the Sphinx and many other impressive structures. Khufu's tomb is a must-see for any traveler to Egypt, and his story is a fascinating one. The first pharaoh of the Old and Middle Kingdom was Khufu, who reigned for 64 years. He is perhaps best known for his beautiful pyramid, which still stands today. Khufu's reign was a time of great change and development, with many new technologies and innovations being developed. During Khufu's reign, many great monuments were built, including the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Sphinx, and the Giza necropolis. Khufu also led many campaigns to expand Egypt's borders, and he is credited with the discovery of the Red Sea and the building of the first boats. Khufu's legacy continues to be celebrated today, and his story is a fascinating one that is sure to fascinate readers. The Great Pyramids of Giza are perhaps the most famous ancient structures on the planet. Constructed over 4,500 years ago, they are still standing today thanks to their legendary construction techniques. The Great Pyramids were built as tombs for the pharaohs of ancient Egypt. Over the years, they have been the subject of many theories and conspiracies, but the truth remains that they are an amazing feat of engineering. The pyramids are made of huge blocks of limestone that were carefully fitted together without the use of mortar. The Egyptians were able to do this because they had a system of measuring and measuring again. This is why the pyramids are so precise. The builders knew exactly how wide and deep each block should be. Despite the fact that the pyramids have been damaged over the years, they are still an amazing sight. If you are ever in Egypt, be sure to visit the Great Pyramids of Giza. The Sphinx is one of the oldest and most venerated monuments in Egypt. Built during the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom, c. 2550 to 2494 BC, it is commonly thought to have been the work of the architect Imhotep. Legend has it that the Sphinx was built to guard the entrance to the Giza necropolis, the ancient burial ground of the pharaohs. The Sphinx is made up of a number of limestone blocks, some of which weigh more than 70 tons. Its body is almost 13 meters long, and its head is 6 meters high. It is thought that the head of the Sphinx was once covered in gold, but this has now been lost. The Sphinx is a fascinating monument, and its story is fascinating too. If you're interested in learning more about the Sphinx and its history, then you should definitely check out the website, ancient-egypt.com. King Khufu is one of the most famous pharaohs of all time. He was one of the few rulers who built more than one pyramid, the most famous of which is the Great Pyramid of Giza. Khufu was also known for his royal mummies, which are some of the oldest mummy specimens in the world. Some of these mummies are over 4,500 years old and still look like they did when they were alive. The royal mummies of Egypt are a fascinating topic and are the subject of many books, documentaries, and articles. If you're interested in learning more about them, I recommend reading The Mummy Unwrapped, The Mummy's Curse, and The Mummy's Tomb. Khufu was the 4th king of the 4th dynasty of Egypt. He reigned for 20 years, from 2558 to 2532 BC. Khufu was the son of Sneferu and the father of Khafre, Menkaure, and Neferkare-Kakai. Khufu is noted for his great size. He was 6.23 meters, 21 feet, tall and probably weighed more than 120 kilograms, 265 pounds. Khufu is also noted for his unusual construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, which still stands today. King Khufu, or Cheops in Egyptian, is one of the most well-known pharaohs of ancient Egypt. Even though there are many other ancient Egyptian pharaohs who are just as well known, King Khufu's name and legacy live on long after his death. Born around 2560 BC, Khufu was the son of King Sneferu and Queen Kamernebdi. After the death of his father, Khufu became the second king of the 4th dynasty of Egypt and ruled for around 50 years. During his rule, Khufu built some of the most famous and impressive ancient Egyptian monuments, including the Great Pyramid of Giza and the Sphinx. These monuments are still standing today, over 4,500 years after they were built. The legacy of King Khufu is one that still stands today. He was a great king and his achievements are still remembered. His accomplishments include the construction of some of the most impressive ancient Egyptian monuments, including the Great Pyramid of Giza. King Khufu is also well known for his many discoveries. He is credited with discovering the principles of mathematics, astronomy, and engineering. He also developed the methods of mummification and created the first known calendar. King Khufu's legacy is one that will be remembered for many years to come. His achievements are a testament to his skill as a king and his dedication to his people. The history of King Khufu is important for a few reasons. For one, he is one of the most famous pharaohs in history. Secondly, he was responsible for many important building projects, including the Great Pyramid of Giza. And lastly, he was a great leader who helped his people prosper. King Khufu was the 4th pharaoh of the 4th dynasty of Egypt and ruled for more than 50 years. He is most famous for his giant pyramid, the Great Pyramid of Giza, which was completed around 2560 BC. The pyramid is thought to have been built as a tomb for Khufu and his wife, Queen Hetepheres. King Khufu was also responsible for many other important projects, including the construction of the Sphinx and the weighing of the Heart of Ra. He was also a great leader who helped his people prosper. For example, he was able to secure valuable trade deals with other countries. King Khufu is one of the most well-known and significant pharaohs of ancient Egypt. His reign was a time of great change for the country, with many new buildings and monuments being erected. Khufu was the son of Sneferu and the grandson of Khufu, both of whom were very successful pharaohs in their own right. Khufu's reign was marked by many firsts, including the first use of polished stone blocks in construction, the first use of cement, and the first use of iron tools. His most famous project was the Great Pyramid, which was built over 4,500 years ago and still stands today as one of the most iconic and well-known monuments in the world. King Khufu's legacy has had a huge impact on Egyptian history, and his accomplishments are still celebrated today. We hope you enjoyed the video and comment down below what topic you would like to see next. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more.